And I'm going to broadcast it as soon as I see it come up on twitch.tv. Okay. Pop, stop. Thank you. Alrighty then, so we are going to pick up the thread from yesterday and work on Boxcar Willie at least a little bit. I could end up switching to Haskell after that though. So I'm going to start out with Rust. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just try to clean up Boxcar Willie for inclusion into the GTK RS examples. Let me see if I can bring those up. Yeah, these bad boys. I want to see if I can get the pomodoro timer included in here. But before I attempt to do that, I think what I'm going to do is just clean this up, keep it simple for now, get it in a nice cleaned up state. Then I'll fork the examples and see if I can get them to accept it, because I think a more elaborate example like this could be really helpful. Part of the reason I'm doing this now is because my other ideas for Boxcar Willie, and they're not really my ideas, they're actually Elias's. Hold on, sorry, I've got Joe coming in. Hey Joe. I'm just stealing them from the original author's repo. So there's a bunch of ideas, issues in here for some of them Python version specific, but a lot of them are just like stuff to add, right? And before I start adding more elaborate features and things like that, or stuff that's going to require more dependencies, like playing the alarm or playing audio or whatever when you hit the timeout. What? What about the to-do list? I don't know what I'm going to get to in the Rust app. The only guaranteed is I'm going to try to clean it up for inclusion in GTK-RS examples. Oh, sure. By the way, real quick, I know you've told me before. Tell me again the proper way to pronounce your name. Because it's Elias? Alias. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. All right. So Elias suggested I do the to-do list next for Boxcar Willie, and I will eventually. I actually may want to switch gears because I think some people are interested in Haskell, which would probably mean working on LorePub. And that's just ESO web application, pretty standard stuff. And I've got some stuff to do there. So first I'm going to focus on getting Boxcar Willie cleaned up for the examples, and then I might take a head count and see what people are interested in after that. So what this is actually going to be focused on is on deduplicating and refactoring this Rust code, which I actually think is kind of interesting because I really like Rust, but I will say that the borrow checker sometimes forces slightly noisy patterns on me sometimes. I don't think this app was that bad, but I've definitely had situations where I was duplicating logic just to make the borrow checker shut up. So the main things that bother me right now are some of the if expressions I mimicked from the Python code, and there are some odds and ends. So like one thing I could do, I don't know if I necessarily will, but I might feel happier if I factor these out into functions. I probably won't though, because there's no real point. They're not actually going to get reused anywhere. I'm not drawing anything up. There's no like actual repetition there. It's just a big long, not even that big. It's just like a function. So I'm probably going to leave that guy alone. There was definitely one part where I copied and pasted some code, and that was for the, I want to say this guy right here, where I set the timer label before I add the timeout countdown so that it renders the clock immediately. I'll show you what I mean here. as soon as this finishes running. There we go. Okay, so in the modification I made, the one that required copy and pasting some code, what I did was, and Elias noticed this too, so in the original Python version and in the previous version of the Rust version, when you hit start, it would actually wait like a beat before it rendered 11.99 seconds, right? So that's because we aren't actually setting the clock state. We aren't rendering the current countdown time when we do the click. The click action sets the timeout countdown, but the timeout countdown doesn't tick until at least the first second has passed. So if we want an immediate rendering of the clock, and then for the timeout countdown event to take over on that, we have a couple options. One was try to manipulate the timeout countdown thing. The thing is, right now we're just using like the standard, it's either GTK or glib timeout countdown. Which one is it? Where is it? Okay. Elias is saying it's the glib timeout callback thing. I think the Rust GTK bindings might be lying. He's saying they might be lying and saying it's GTK when it's actually glib. And I can believe that because most of the timing event loop stuff is actually glib. GTK is the actual GUI stuff. Anyway, so we have some duplicated code as a result. So what we ought to do here is find everywhere we're formatting and labeling the timer, and factor that out. So we'll just make a function. Okay, so we're going to need access to a couple things here. One is we're going to need a mute borrow of our tomati here. Whoops. Goes in the type, not in the binding. Alright, there we go. And then we're going to need a... Actually, I don't think we're going to need anything else. Yeah. And then the only other thing is we might want to... Because in one case, we're just formatting up the remaining time. In another case, what we're actually doing is we're using the tick-tock to bump the state. So we've got two different ways of formatting or setting the clock time. One is just rendering it as is. The other is bumping the time. So there's definitely a way to tease this apart that's cleaner, because there's a couple different concerns here. One is the formatting of the time, and then the other is the formatting itself. So probably what I'm going to do is I need to figure out a format function for this that doesn't have this dumb PT number S formatting for the clock. I'd like something cleaner than that. I need to figure out how to render the duration type. I think it's a duration as a as like a digital clock, and then I need to factor that out. And then I basically need I think I can basically, I mean, tick-tock almost itself doesn't even really need to be a function. It's just, you know, subtract time and then update whatever. So if that's the case, then what I really should do is extract that out back into the one place where we actually decrement the time, which is this timeout countdown. And then the parts that should be factored out are the formatting and the setting of the time, maybe. And that's simple enough. So, yeah. So that seems simple enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm just going to use this update timer and factor it out of here. some duplication there too. So if those are duplicated, then what we can actually do is just lift it up like that. And now the only thing we're doing that if check over is the part that's actually different. So let me rerun the build, rerun it. Looking good so far. Okay. That looks fine. Alright, so the next thing is we have two different update button invocations here. And it's kind of annoying because we've definitely got some duplication that needs cleaned up here. So one is that both of these are actually invoking update button, but the only difference is they're updating it based on running being a different state. And then another thing is, so these parts are actually definitely different. So, but we're going to call that regardless. And then we only do this if we weren't running to start with, which makes sense. Very annoying. There's probably a way to clean that up, but I'm going to leave it alone for the moment. Let's see what else we have here. We're using a dumb format function here. Let's see if Chrono knows how to do this. Rust Chrono digital clock. I'm guessing this is our winner here. Clock. Okay, string format time, hour number, and 12-hour clocks. That's I colon something. We need oh, it's not even hour. It's minute and second. Does this format a duration? It might not. I don't want a month either. Minutes. Okay, minute M. Okay. Colon and then S, I think, is what we want. And then hopefully we can... Where's the actual method? The docs don't tell me how to actually use this code. It's very annoying. Ah, for the love of God. Chrono format, stirf time. Can you show me how to actually use this? Structs, enums, functions, format, is that our winner? Okay, I think it is. Jeez. Alright, so chrono, format, and then I'm going to call format, update timer. That's more arguments than I expected. Am I going to have to split the duration? Am I going to have to turn the duration into a time? Is that it? Where are the docs? Date time. I don't want date time. I want to convert the duration into a naive time. That constructs a duration. Alright, duration, naive time, rest. Okay, I need to look at naive time to see how to construct it. From each of Does Rust not have what? I don't think they have a Hugo equivalent, no. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. Let's double check. Rust API search engine. Rugal. Forked from NDM Mitchell Hugel. That's interesting. Generates JSON type signatures. I don't think there's a usable product here. Oh, there is. Oh, holy shit. Really? Does it actually work? I don't think that actually works. On the other hand, it's like a cajillion... I do stuff like that all the time, man. Playing video games in particular, like, makes me subject to doing things in the wrong UI context that make me feel really dumb. Like, I've definitely been doing a programming thing and then tried to use WASD to, like, move around something, and I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't work. It's a good thing I don't use Vim. I'd end up deleting shit. Yeah, I don't think I would try to use Vim in a Word document. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't think Rugal's gonna be a thing. So, all right. All right. See you later, Elias. Wait. Sign duration since. All right, I need to go the other direction. Old duration? Can I... What about a new duration? I don't want to add. I just want to... Alright. Yep. I've definitely learned to do this. Why is it old duration? I don't understand... Are these really the current docs? Oh, this is the current doc. Alright. I have time. Alright, so this is the current version. Duration. Still old duration. Losing my mind here. You think the first thing you would think of when you're making a date-time library is how do I convert between everything? Right? Wouldn't that be like your first thought after you figure out the basic representational issues? Maybe it's just me. Alright. What is... Wait a second. That's weird. There. So you can do arithmetic with durations, but there's got to be something I'm missing here. Like, and also, what's with this duration versus old duration thing? I don't. Alright. So I have to do duration from standard, and then, but that's still subtraction and stuff. It's not. I guess I have to mainly do it by using num minutes and num seconds. That's kind of dumb. Alright, whatever. So I'm going to use from HMS, and then I'm going to have to convert the I64s to U32s. By the way, I think I figured out why they use I64 here. It's because you can have a negative duration. I don't know if they normalize those properly. Like if I do negative days and then positive hours, is it going to like smoosh them together? I don't know. I assume so, but I don't really know. But yeah, they're positive in the case of naive time because it's only a positive thing, positive time. It's so annoying. Alright, so let's go up here and use naive time. Okay, so naive time from HMS, and then we're going to go to update timer, let nt, we'll call it neat, and let minutes equals tom dot remaining time dot what was it? It was num minutes and let seconds yeah, okay, minutes, seconds, and then we're going to place this guy. And this is going to be format, and then where was that format function? It's here somewhere. There it is. W, and with some formatter, date, none, some neat, and then offset none. I have no idea what items is. Why do they must have two types of integers, I swear. Can I use it like that? Do they not have any examples or tests of this? Seriously? What am I missing here? Is it a different... What the fuck? Do I need to go to a different thing? No? Yeah. They'll talk at length about cylindrical calculation, but they can't be bothered to like show me how to use their thing. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna try this, the method invocation style that they do everywhere. So we're actually gonna get rid of that, and I'm just gonna use this and that. That. See how that goes. Nope. Right, I I expected that. I forget how to do Rust, convert I64 to U32. Conversion reference, yeah, sure. Expected U32, okay. As U32, try that, and I think that's it, yeah. Okie dokie. Whoop. Killed it. Invalid time. Nice. Nice. Alright. Invalid time. Wow. Alright. I'm suddenly reminded of how nice it is to use a language where most people try to do things with total functions. Alright. Make run debug. Yeah, okay. Boxcar Willie main 320. Wait, now it helps if I'm actually in the right place. Of course it happened in GTK main. Oh, for the love of God. Alright. Let's try to get a little more precise about that. Update timer 136. Alright, so it's this guy. Okay. Minutes. Seconds. Run again. Okay. Before I hit start, let's take some guesses, everyone. What do you think is happening? I have a guess. I'll share mine after you share yours. No? Nobody? There's 4 of you. 5 of you, actually. If we count. 6 if we count Smalls. Smalls is there, right? Smalls is Bunny. I think Smalls is named after a rapper, but I'm not 100% certain. I should name all my dogs after rappers. My next dog will be named Big L. Maybe it'll be short for Big Leonard. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so that is approximately what I expected. So they're not like... That's too many seconds to be seconds. So I need to take the modulus of that. Let me see here. Rest modulo wait, remainder modulo. Which one do I want? I guess I want remainder. Alright, let me think about this. 60, I guess? Because I just want to, like, wind the seconds around like a clock, right? Alright, well, it still blew up, but, you know, progress, right? What? It blew up an invalid time for 20 minutes and 0 seconds? How is that invalid? Oh, come on, I even did the arithmetic right. Also, me and this library are gonna have fucking words about their fucking seriously panicking on an invalid time. I thought panicking was always supposed to be for like super big serious exceptions. No, we didn't get that far. Here, I'll show you. Let me scroll up the stack tracer. Yeah, it's 137. It's blowing up on the construction of naive time from the minutes and seconds. And it's hours, minutes, seconds. Yeah, it's panicking on just that. Which, yeah. Right, that's not actually what the kind of thing you're supposed to use panic for. So I actually presented my objections about people using panic all over their examples in Rust to Steve Klabnik a year or two ago, and he said, "Oh no, people only use those in applications for like actual panics, and here I am using a fucking time library and constructing a naive time value panics when it should be returning a result." Yeah, unwrap panics too. It's also bad. Don't do it. Okay, so this is a good reminder why not everything that's good about Haskell is purely about the language. It's also on how you use it. Alright, well I'm just fucking salty now. Let's have a look at naive time and see what they've got here. ISO 8601 time without time zone allows for leap second space. From HMS Millie, from your... Okay. HMS Perrin, 2356.5. Well, they do have an option version. Returns none on invalid hour, minute, or second. It shouldn't actually be option either. It should be result that explains what's wrong with it. I might actually be angry enough to patch this, because this is dumb. This is really dumb. Do they have a result option? They fucking don't. Oh my god. Uh, 000 is some. 2400 is none. 2360 is none. Why? I don't understand. Why is this not valid? That doesn't make any sense to me. Sorry. I just heard begone thoughts and it's fine. It's just funny. Well, it's like appropriate because I'm like sitting here grumping about this dumb API and then begone thoughts comes in on the headphones and it's like, yeah, I agree. Question in the chat. Cool. Freeman says 236000 be the same as 000. That's not obvious to me. Yeah, that's not obvious to me. There's clearly some semantics to what hour, minute, and second are supposed to mean here that I'm not understanding. I think you're right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think you're right. It's supposed to be a wall clock time. Yep. I think you're right. Okay, so the answer here is actually much simpler. We're gonna get rid of Mr. Neat here, and instead, where's timer format? There's span something something. Yeah, okay. So update time. Yeah, okay. So what we're gonna do is going to format it like that, and colon minutes. All right. Make run. I guess I was understanding naive time as being like this weird, dumb duration time. All right, start. Okay, I still need to do the modulo remainder part. Okay. Thank you for letting me know there's a question. Okay. Almost. I need to format a number as 2 digits. 2-digit number. Really should be like a native way to do this. I understand why I have to. 02. Die, run. There she goes. Alright, so do the same thing here. Kill it. Alright, now I just need to make everything actually use this guy. Which does require a TomTom instance. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that every time. Timer, label. A way I could factor this out since this... Oh no, this actually needs... it needs the remaining time and the timer label. Currently I'm getting those out of TomTom, but I could factor them out to get them as separate arguments and do it that way. I'm not too fussed about it. But let's just hunt them down and clean it up. So, tick... the timer, mute TomTom, and then we're going to find TikTok and just move that there. TikTok, kill that, run that. Nope. Unknown field. Tomati.main. TomTom is our mutable borrow, not Tomati. And okay. Hey, it looks like a proper clock now. Alright. Cool beans. What? Alright, properly formatted clock. Alright, it's still wrong on initial start though, I think. So I need to factor, yeah, okay, so I think, yeah, I mean, huh? Because we're not doing the proper formatting right here. when it gets initialized. It's fine as soon as we do this. But, yeah, until we do that, it's not kosher. Timer increment, making certain it maps to human time. What do you mean? How do I make sure? Oh, you basically can't because, well, yeah, I mean, I'm basically just, I have to just make certain I only subtract by 1 every time. Beyond that, the actual timing comes down to how glib manages the timeout in the event loop. Right. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do there. You basically just have to make certain you pass the countdown callback the right seconds value, and then beyond that, you just have to trust their timing. I don't know what kind of timing guarantees glib gives you. I really have no idea. Yeah, I mean, the only alternative would be to, like, I mean, I know what an alternative to that would be. It would not be good. You would have to set up a separate thread, set up the scheduling for the thread yourself, and then you would be blocking your event loop on a pull, and then your main GUI thread would be polling at some kind of resolution, maybe once every millisecond, once every 500 micros, whatever, and then it would be waiting on some kind of concurrent latch or channel, probably, and you would send a signal that says, invoke this callback now, and then it would trigger it. Something like that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna just trust glib too. I'm not gonna do that. That was actually what I tried to do. What do you how do you feel about the blank thing? I'm gonna say it should actually be start to Matoro and not yeah, don't start with a time. Instead, use the start to Matoro. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. What? Oh yeah. I don't know how long the to-do list is gonna take me. Probably a while. Well, I also don't have the, I also need to fix total time. That one should actually be handled differently based on magnitude. Because you're going to want to count up hours, minutes, seconds, days, things like that, and then you'll exclude different segments based on how much time they've logged. So that gets into something a little more complicated. But, not right now. I don't need to worry about that right now. I am just house cleaning. That's all this is. House cleaning. Okay. So yeah, we've done that successfully. Man, alarm. GTK color inversion. Invert colors of a text view widget? No, how about like a whole window? Color inversion window, invert window color. No, not gnome shell, just the whole like window. Not Compton, god. Alright, it may not let me. Alright. Do I want to play a beep? What do I want to do here? I still need to pull in all those libraries if I do a beep, and that sucks. I don't want to pull in the libraries for this. Toma minutes. We're going to use Toma minutes 20. Alright, Toma minutes, break minutes, and then we're going to go back here, and we're going to set that to 1. Okay, we're going to reinterpret this as seconds for testing purposes. So for testing purposes, it's actually going to be duration seconds, and then I'm going to run this. Nope, made it mad. Expected I64, found U8. There we go. Alright, there it goes. Counting down correctly, that's very nice. Yeah, okay, so it did the print. Oh, that new line didn't work. I wonder why. Maybe I didn't set it correctly? Alright, so it does the print line correctly. Where is it? This guy right here. So let's look for break message and make certain it's getting used correctly. Yeah, we're using set markup. Alright. How do we do a new line in here? Definitely didn't work though. It prints the new line escape literally. Oh, you'll see. Yeah, see, it's right there. Yep. Here, I'll search for break message, set markup. That's the only place it gets used. And it's setting markup. So, GTK label markup new line. Huh? GTK label set markup. Of course, I wouldn't have an example that had new lines. There's no way new lines are literal in this. I don't believe they would do that, because they would want people to be able to reformat the XML. But we're going to try it, so... Nope, I was looking at the wrong one. Toma message. Okay. Alright. Whoops. There we go. Start that. Copy that. Yep, it has to be literal. That's kind of dumb. I put a literal new line in there instead of an escaped one. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm surprised. Am I surprised? Am I really surprised? I'm not that surprised. Alright, so that problem's solved now. Elias asked if I thought this was a Rust thing or how GTK does it. It could be a product of the string quasi-coder I'm using. I doubt it, but it could be. Because I think this quasi-coder is going to respect normal escaping, or else I have a hard time seeing them putting something in here that would, like, mess with my new line escape. Because, you know, why? But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not actually using this clone macro anywhere. I'm gonna remove that when I fork the library. So I think I want it in here for now. That's gone now. This is done. That's not a thing. We never needed that. And it actually doesn't make sense because there's no continue there. We just need to do something about alarm, pretty much. We can either give up, or we can... That's also not a thing anymore. Oh man, is there anything we can do for alarm that won't pull in extra libraries? I mean, I'm already pulling in chrono... What does their cargo tunnel look like? They're already pulling in chrono. So if I can try to stick to these dependencies, I'm good to go. Which makes sense, they're pulling in chrono. They already have a clock example. So let's think about this. Yeah, I don't know. Rust play beep. Not B. Yeah, it's gonna be CPAL radio. Yeah. I could set a countdown. I could set an event that for 4 seconds in a row it flashes the timer label or something. I'll just clean that up a little bit. I don't need that. All right. Okay. Nope, don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, I'm gonna call this good. The alarm doesn't do anything intelligent right now. Whatever. I'm not gonna try to shoehorn that into the GTK RS examples. Okay. And now I'm going to fork those examples. So, where is this? Examples. Fork. I already have it forked. Branch is even with master. That's frightening. Git rename origin. We have a question in chat. What do you think of Rust as a general purpose systems language as opposed to Go or Python? I don't like Go or Python. I use Haskell as my general purpose language. I think Rust is fine for systems. I wouldn't use it outside of stuff that really needs to be like systems-y though. I think the only non-systems use of Rust for me would be GUI applications, because not having garbage collection can make that more responsive and make the application run a lot leaner. Outside of systems and GUI apps, like if I was writing networked servers, web apps, you know, pretty ordinary stuff I do every day at work, I just use Haskell. I don't like Go or Python at all. Yeah. Joe just piped up and said if your alternative is C++, then you should just use Rust. Yeah, basically Rust replaces C++ for me, not a garbage collected language. There's too much stuff that's annoying, too many libraries that are missing for that to be otherwise right now. It's remote rename. Wow, I had an old check out of that. Okie dokie. Your branch is ahead of GTK master by 31 commits. What? Alright, now it's all good. Alright. Alright, so now we start cleaning out for this guy. Specifically. Whoops. Why is that executable? I think this is really like the key takeaway that people might want to know is how to do the shared application state thing. So let me see. Okie dokie. Is there any more deduplication I need to do? Well, it's not ideal, but take a look at the pommel. Time, total. Dot. minutes. Okay. Freeman asked if I can do that thing where it rings the internal beeper. I think they mean the PC DOS beeper thingy, the CMOS thing on the motherboard. Probably, but I'd have to do it via system call, and I don't want to do anything that makes it incompatible. What in the thread rusty panic at called option unwrap on none value. The compiler unexpectedly panicked. This is a bug. Rest up, default, stable. Yeah, compiler just panicked, so I just flipped from nightly to stable. Pretty normal, or at least it happens to be a lot when I use nightly. I use stable or beta when that's not okay. This is a feature flag issue. Yeah, Joe raises a good point that a lot of libraries will force you to use nightly, but then nightly isn't stable, and it's pretty annoying to get stuff done. I think that situation's improving quickly. Library users have definitely been getting treadmilled into using nightly more than I would have liked, but that was definitely more of a problem back in like 1.14. 1.13 than it is now, where we're at 1.24, 2.5, and 2.6. There's only like one feature getting stabilized in 2.6 that anybody really is like crazy about, and that's infiltrate the vtable existential thingy. I don't think you really have to use nightly at this point. I don't know. I mean, like, the test case for that is always Rust Rocket. Like, what does Rocket require? And that tells you how much people are being forced to... Yeah, fuck. I mean, it still says nightly, but I don't know if it actually requires nightly or not. It definitely has historically. But yeah, if you avoid Rocket and some of the web app stuff, it's not as bad. This fucking... I don't think GTK examples is being maintained. At a guess. So application.run takes 2 arguments now. Rust GTK application. Application ID. What about run? What's application.run? Application.run. I want the struct. I want run. Alright, I'll just search for .run. Well, the examples, not a library precisely, but yeah, it's saying expected 2 parameters to application.run. I think it's because it's not being maintained, but I could be wrong. I need to find where .run is implemented so that I can find out what's going on. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I don't know how the application stuff works at all. I didn't use it. That's one of them, but there's something else. Because it says there's 2 arguments, but it's only passing 1. Alright, run? Just search for run while I get lucky. I don't think so. That's dialogue. Native dialogue, functions, print operation, doesn't exist. Okay. So this is one of the problems I have writing Rust. So in Haskell, if I wasn't certain what was going on with a function or where it came from, I could just pull up the repo and call info on the function to find out what's going on, right? I can't do that here because I don't have a REPL, and I don't really have a way to query like what this thing is. Maybe if I was using Rust language server or something. I don't know. Freedom Tobe says, hi, if someone learns better through videos/visuals, do you have any course recommendations in Intro to Haskell, paid or free? You're not going to like this, but I don't think there's such a thing. I don't think there's anybody that actually learns better through videos or visuals. I think there are people for whom it is easier because it doesn't require actively working through exercises or doing reading. I think that you should consider videos or visuals as a taste test or a way to just kind of burn some time, but you're not going to learn a programming language doing that. You need to do exercises. Naturally, I think you should get my book. Just go to haskellbook.com, $60. If you can't afford it, email us, go to the contact page, send us an email. We'll get you set up with a discount or something if you can't afford it. But yeah, even if you don't get my book, you need to get a book or go work through a course of some kind, because videos don't actually teach people programming language. There's no such thing as a learner type. That's a myth. That's bullshit you were taught in primary school. There's no such thing as a visual learner. There's no such thing as a kinesthetic versus a auditory learner. It's nonsense. Alright. Yeah, they've actually gone out and disproven that that's a thing. They've disproven it. It's not a thing. Everybody learns the same way. They just come to the table with different context and toolkit. You know, you come to the table with different skills and knowledge, but that doesn't change how you learn things. It just changes what you have to practice at or learn. Okay, so this isn't getting maintained, and I can't figure out where the fuck this application.run thing comes from. Wait. Elias, is application a GTK or a glib thing? Where do I need to look for this? GK? Where's glib? There it is. Application. No, it's not that. It's gonna end up being a glib thing, isn't it? Not really. The visuals, yeah, I just gave my little pedagogical spiel on how visual learners aren't a thing. But thank you. Where is application coming from? Let's go back to the doc search. Where is it? Kill these off. Okay, there's an application struct in GTK. Huh. 404. Fascinating. Nice touch. This page does not exist yet. Oh my god. Come on. I just want to get this done so I can move on to the Haskell. Come on. Rest. Okay. GK, glib, GTK. Application. Oof. Application X. I bet that's where run comes from. Nope. Geo, GTK, application flags, GTK application next. Run, no. Oh, God. Come on. They still have the struct. And this still exists. It's not saying the function or the method doesn't exist or something. It's saying expected 2 parameters. I just need to find where the fuck that run method came from. As soon as I find out where that run method came from, I'm good. I don't know. Cargo. Help. Doc. Cargo doc. Alright, what's a geo application? Wait a second. Struct, new, action group text. I know I already checked this one, but I'm humoring myself here. Alright, none of those had it. Build failed for the cargo dock. MG Sloan Cairo Tut? Wait, is this... I'll be goddamned. That's my coworker. I work with that guy. Alright, probably wrote that back in college if it was 2012. Oh, this links to an MG Sloan Cairo Tut stroke.cs. That's a coworker of mine at FP Complete. Yeah. I'm guessing so. I don't know. I'm just guessing why you would have been fucking with Cairo, because, like, needing to use Cairo to render some graph or graphical app or something is something that a lot of college kids do. It's not something working programmers do. When was the last time you heard of a working programmer fucking with Cairo? It's always a grad student or an undergrad. This might sound like an overgeneralization, but I'm serious. I've never run into anybody who's using Cairo for work. Yeah. I've thought about going back, but I don't think I will. Too much opportunity cost. I'd rather read a book, work through a book. Pictures of my German Shepherd's ears are doing the rounds on Twitter. I'm glad the dogs are getting the love and respect they deserve from their fans. Alright, cargo dock failed. I'm not that surprised. Freeman, what do we get to vote about? I have no idea what you get to vote about. I don't even know what we were talking about voting about. From Toby says maybe the phrasing should have been someone prefers video courses versus books text. Thanks anyway. I mean, there aren't any really. I mean, that's the other thing. You shouldn't bother, but also there aren't any that are, like, comprehensive enough to get you using Haskell, because there's just a lot to learn. If you tried to make a video course that actually covered, like, everything you'd need to know to use Haskell, it would be, I don't know, it would be a lot of content. I'll put it that way. It would be more content than I have in my streams directory right now. Yeah, so at the 163 gigs of video, it would be more than that. Because the number of hours I spent streaming is probably not quite enough to actually cover everything you need to know in Haskell. And I mean, preference is fine, but I don't know. I think that giving people who don't necessarily know the most effective way to learn something what they want isn't really a good use of people's time. I know that sounds like incredibly obstinate, and I'm sorry, but like that's part of the problem with a lot of the educational resources in our industry, is we just give people what they ask for instead of what they need, and I don't do that. So I'm not going to really iter about that. If you want to learn the language, let me know. If you just want to like fuck around, that's fine. Just like watch YouTube videos of people doing Haskell stuff. I have streams of myself doing Haskell stuff. You can watch those. In fact, I'll link them. There you go. That's my streams on YouTube. The ones I've uploaded anyway. I don't upload all of them, but I upload most of them. I have no idea where this fucking run function comes from. I'm just gonna toss like a none in there and fuck with the build error. Expected 2 parameters. What? Oh, it's a different one. I see. So I'm just gonna have to do this a bunch. Okay, that's cool. Apparently I got the type right on accident. Just gonna be doing this over and over. That's cool. Not like anything else better to do today. Yeah, just lots of this over and over. If you want a vision of the future, it's a compiler stomping a programmer in the face over and over forever. Yeah, well, they can pry my compiler from my cold dead hands. I couldn't find no method named expect for type chiro. What? Expected stir found option. Expected I32 found reference. Okay, so now I'm getting the actual error. So we're going to go back to this guy. Alright, so I'm pretty certain that this goes here, and this is a number. God knows what the number means. I'm flabbergasted. Wow. I can't find out what the number means because I can't find where that fucking run method comes from. Do the versions need bumped in? Ooh, those are bad versions. Ooh. Okay. Huh? I mean, what's the lock say? You know what? Yeah. I think I know what I'm gonna do here. It's gonna break again because it's using newer versions this time. Watch. So it turns out the examples were in sync, but I was just using an old build of this or something. We'll find out if I'm right here in a moment. I understand why they did the versions like that, though. They want to automatically run the build against newer versions of the libraries, and that's fine. It's just... No, I don't think they saved the log file in the repo. You generally don't, unless you're working with, like, coworkers. No, I'm surmising that the log file was an old one that I created. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but yeah. Yeah, message in the chat. Mostly hobby, curiosity, difficult to answer, hours, weeks, etc. Learn Haskell to write useful apps. Depends on what you want to make. You don't want to measure it in hours, trust me. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're gonna try to like dipstick your way in and plummet and see like Is it going to take more than X amount of time for it to be worth my time? You just shouldn't bother. Like, it's going to take you a while to get productive in Haskell. Just accept that it's going to be a journey, and I think it's worth it. Haskell has significantly changed my quality of life, my work, my career. It's changed my habits in software. It's made it so that I do a lot more open source work than I used to. There's all kinds of benefits, but, you know, either you're going to keep writing code or you're not. Like, if you're planning to quit programming in the next year and go into management, by all means, do not learn Haskell. However, if this is something you plan to do for a while, just start learning Haskell and just accept that it's going to take a while. Nobody can give you in hours or weeks. I know what range of time it takes for people to get productive, but there's no point in really sharing those numbers because those aren't your numbers. It's going to take you what it takes you, and it depends on your work habits. If you're going to insist on watching videos, that's probably going to take on the longer side. If you're willing to do exercises and actually write some code, it'll take less time. If you're actually that sensitive to how much time it's going to take, you should listen to the advice I'm giving you about not bothering with videos. Expected one parameter. Yep. Okay. I was right. I just had an old block file. God damn it. Fucking log files. This is why I don't like log file style version control, by the way. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. We prefer how stack works, but nobody cares what I think. This is the thing we ran into before because of the feature flagging. The old name was left and right, right? Am I right about that? The set margin left, right, start, end.
Yes.
So the new names are start, end. The old names are left to right, correct? Okay, so now I need to find out set margin. Why does it keep... What? Tarnation. Stop doing that. What is setting it executable? So weird. Alright, is there some way I can flag this out so that it doesn't... Also, why does RG not see anything? Set margin... grep set margin r dot. Oh my god. Okay. Let me specify source bin here. Okay, so Pomodoro is the only thing doing this, and it's building with the wrong version or something. Build features. Where's features coming from? GTK 318. I don't get it. If it's building 318, then it should work, right? Because left, right, and start, end were 314, I think. It's weird. Somebody suggested this. I think I tried to get this working before and it didn't work. It hasn't been updated since mid-2017, so my hopes aren't high. And fix typo, Elasticsearch to Elasticsearch. Really? Alright, whatever. I don't have to do it. Capitalizing S in Elasticsearch. It's not a typo, it's misspelling. Oh yeah, clearly. Wow, look at these PRs. Add a simple OpenGL example. 32 comments. That's from 2015. This one's from 2016. Am I wasting my time here? I'm gonna try anyway, but this is not very well maintained. Yeah, GNOME devs are learning Rust. They're definitely interested in it. I don't know what's going on with this, it's kind of disused. Anyway. No, I don't care about that right now. I just want to get this done. Okay, so, just so I'm certain I understand here. Oh, whoa. That's blank. Travis. Environment GTK 318 build.sh. What in the fuck? This is... Stop. Alright, stop. Here's what we need. Why we had to make files to everything so people don't misuse scripts. This is so stupid. It has to rebuild because I set a new feature flag. It's blocking on Pango. It's htop. You can use this too. Not that anything's updating. Which is why I use htop usually. Unused import. Okay, I need to clean up these unused imports. 12, kill, format, naive time, used imports thread time, yep, not using those anymore, not using that, not using that, not using that, not using that, rebuild, build fine. Okay. The git ignore is ignoring the contents of this, and that's why I couldn't see my shit earlier. Nope. Nope, something else is. I'm guessing bin? I'm guessing it's me. Bin. Source bin, pomodoro, RS. Okay. Git log, and it's just the one commit, so I don't need to squash. All right. Request. Create. Freeman, are you on Linux or Mac OS? This is this is Linux. I don't even know how to get Mac OS to look like this. If you do know how, please tell me, because I would love to have Xmonad in Mac OS where I can just like instantly flip around. So yeah, if you know how to do that, please tell me, because their Xcorts implementation sucks and is really slow. I didn't like Amethyst. I use SizeUp to do my windowing in macOS because it's less intrusive and it works fine. This is what I use in macOS for windowing. Here, I'll show you. Which one? No. Oh. Alright, I've renamed build.sh to build-ci.sh because I have a really hard time believing you're meant to use that locally. And now I'm done! Yeah. Thank you. Alright, so I'm glad to be done with that, so... yeah, alright, voting. I think I remember now. So yeah, what does everyone want to see next? I'm gonna do lore pub stuff, basically stuff for this website written in Haskell. We can do more Rust stuff. I wouldn't really know what to do if we do raw stuff, but I guess I could work on more Boxcar Willie things. I've got some other raw stuff floating around, like Duke. I haven't worked on Duke in a long time, though. I don't know if I even really want to. I don't actually like Elasticsearch that much. So, yeah, what's everybody's opinion? What should I do? Oh, the RSS feed readers for lore pubs, that would be Haskell. Okay. Any objections? No? Alright. Alright, so, yeah, we're gonna bounce over to Boutique here. Lore pub, Boutique. Alright, I love my make files so much. They make it so easy for me to remember what my stuff is. Okay. Just make GCI. And okay, so our goal here is to make an RSS feed for the blog. And it shouldn't be that hard because the blog is actually represented in terms of Haskell data structures. I'm not using a database for it because there's basically never going to be a time where I add a blog post to the blog and it isn't a programmer with deploy access. Alright? Now, I wouldn't do this for a real CMS, don't get me wrong. Never do this for like a real application, you know, human beings have to use. And if you try to correct me and say programmers are human beings, you're wrong. Anyway, but yeah, if it's just programmers, like, I'm not going to put that in the database. There's no point. It's just Haskell. So if we take a look at we've got a question. What is GPOC? GPOC is get pull origin current, get push origin current, and current is an alias for the current branch. It's basically a sync command for Git that I wrote as a ZSH alias. You can actually find it in my dot files. You can actually, so my whole work environment, everything I do to work is in my dot files. Nobody believes me when I tell them this. The whole thing, the whole shebang, everything I use in my work is in my dot files. And there are no exceptions because I recreate my environment from scratch on fresh Ubuntu installs all the time. Anyway, so if we look for GPOC, it's going to be in, alright, it's not a CSHRC, it might be in aliases. Hold on, let me find it. There it is. Alias GPOC, get pull origin, back to get rev parse, abbrev ref head, and get push origin, get rev parse, abbrev ref head. Anyway, source handler, where did I put that? Article. Okay. Okie dokie. So, this is our blog post render. Let me actually just load this. Wait a second, I need to fix that. Application 6. When's it complaining about? Handler 4? Okay. Handler 4 app. Okay, reload. Yep, alright, it's happy now. App devel main. I need to do something about the unused match warnings for record wildcards and Hamlet. That I need to fix. Widget 4, widget T. Alright, I'll go through and do a cleaning pass later. Okie dokie, so instead of looking at the live application, we're going to look at the locally running version. Okay, so yeah, if I go here, read more. So this right here is this. This takes a slug, and the slug is right there. Fetches the appropriate article and renders the post. Now, there is an actual data structure of them somewhere. I don't actually remember where. somewhere. Oh, you know what? I remember now. It pulls them from these guys. Well, the templates anyway. It pulls them from that. Markdown, and then there's a data structure somewhere with the data right there, articles. So it gets article from file of the markdown, single author versus multiple authors, title, tagline. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to turn this map of articles into an RSS feed. So let's have a look at how. Thank you, Alexi, for posting the aliases link for people who wanted GPOC. Not Amazon. Poppy, stop. Hackle. Hackle generates RSS feeds. It's how I get them on buttonmap.com. Buttonmap.com is it's my blog. It's my personal blog. I have an RSS feed, but it's statically generated. So Hackle is obviously using something in order to generate the RSS feeds, right? So what I want is I want to look at their Cabal file and find which RSS library they're using, because whatever one they're using clearly works, right? So I'd rather just use whatever they've got. And I don't see one. Oh dear. They may not actually be using a library for this. They're probably not even using a library. Let Asklers do this. Alright. RSS. Last upload, 2016. Nice. RSS conduit is newer, and that's good. Alright. We want text RSS conduit render and source M event. That's interesting. Yeah. Alright, that's a big fat data structure. What the fuck is this data family? This is like that fucking Rust GTK code. Rust item X, Rust channel X, RSS channel X, whatever. They're using type level lists for an RSS document type. Why? Extensions, that's why. Okie dokie. Hopefully they have tests that I can just mimic. Cancel. Alright, test. Arbitrary HLint main. Alright guys, I don't want input, I want generation. They don't have anything testing generation, only parsing. Why do they always do this? Okay. I mean, I guess it's testing round tripping, but... Alright, well, I guess we'll try it. Oh, not package lock JSON. YAML. I wonder if I'm using enough libraries yet. They need to use more. Make RSS1 parse RSS types conduit. Why is types at a higher level? Alright, never mind. I don't want to know. Everything returns a source of events. Instead of a source of events, could I just get like a byte string? I would like a byte string. Never gets used except as a definition library. Never actually gets used directly. Okay. What am I supposed to do with a source of events? Can I render the events as a thing? This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I just want a byte string out of this fucker. God, why do people write libraries like this? His thing doesn't build anyway. Very interesting. Alright, we're gonna mimic Hackle. Fuck it. God damn it. Alright, so we're just gonna mimic what Hackle does. Wow. I'm not spending my time on that. I would have to just... see you later, Elias. Alright. So, I think what I want here is I want to use these two templates and I'm just going to template them, I think. RGST ST pipe. Oh, there we go, yeah. Alright, so... put it under helpers, rss.hs. And, wall fixture is 366. Use this bad boy. module helpers RSS where fixtures Shakespeare and GCI. No, so, you don't, Mark didn't find anything special for scraping in Haskell. To be honest, WebDriver has kind of simplified the situation. If you want to scrape the web in Haskell, just use WebDriver. And that'll be better than doing anything in Python. The high-level frameworks in Python, they make your life simpler until they very suddenly don't, and it's usually not worth it. High-level scrapers usually fall apart really quickly. So, yeah, I'd say you're better off just managing your event loop or however it is you're queuing up work in Haskell yourself. Yeah, no problem, man. Okie dokie. Alright, this is Adam. What? No, it's just called Adam for a link. Alright, whatever. I don't care. Does anybody actually use Adam versus RSS? Does anybody actually care? I don't think anybody actually cares. That's my opinion. Alright. Item, RSS text, channel, RSS text, CData, description, okay. Alright, so a channel is gonna be channel description, channel description, channel title, channel link, channel title, actually do that first. Oops. Oh yeah, I didn't. There we go. Alright. Channel link root. Just to make it explicit. And root URL. Let's have a look at that. Channel root URL. Guessing URL is the, let's just look at RSS on here. So root here, spymap.com, and then link, that's why they do // because they're just appending the URLs together blindly. Gross. Alright, RSS.xml. Okay. That's probably going to be blog rss.xml and https webhub.com and localhost 3000. I think those will work. And, yeah. Alright, so channel link RSS channel RSS URL, channel to text. And that's going to be channel RSS URL, channel description, channel last updated, yeah, UTC time, whatever, and then channel items. We'll do this separately. Okie dokie. So RSS item, RSS item. I just realized that what I want to do here nah, it's fine. Alright, root URL, yeah, okay. Sorry, excuse me. Alright. Item title. Item URL. Item description. Item published. Good. Does it do anything intelligent with that? It is not. Item author. There's actually two different ways I can do that. How do I do DC creator for multiple creators? RSS, DC creator, multiple authors. How do I do this? Author versus DC creator. What about multiple authors though? I do not know. That's not going to tell me about plural. Wait, multiple authors in one entry, right there. Alright. Apparently it bugs out, or some RSS readers bug out. Free and open source RSS Atom newsreader for macOS. That's pretty cool. I was actually kind of hoping somebody would make like a decent feed reader that was open source. Last release was January 2018. Pretty cool. Can I get a screenshot? No screenshots. Alright, so they need a little help with marketing. That's okay. Interesting. Alright. Let me see here. Yeah. Alright, so, I'm actually gonna need a local, like, RSS reader around my Linux machine here so I can test this. Yes, I may not end up actually using that. We'll see. Alright, so let's get up the article. PQR. Yeah. All right. I need to add a new route. Where is article? Post RSS.xml. Get article. RSSR. Handler XML, I think? I don't know. I haven't actually thought about returning XML with proper content disposition. What was the last time I returned XML from a Yesod handler? May have been a while. Alright. Fine. Yeah. We'll just say text for now? Okay, so now we need to get the article listing. Oh, that's per article. No, I want like all of the articles. No, slug. Alright. Where's the articles? Alright. So we're gonna grab articles. Let article list equals to list article. Term law. Load source handler article. What is it upset about? Overlapping routes. Right. Okay. I can either bang it out or I can try to solve the overlap. It is in poor taste to have overlapping routes. What if I just reorder it? No, still mad. Yeah, that's fair enough. Whoops. What can I name this? Blog? RSS 6.0? That would certainly solve the overlap. Does blog versus post, is that okay? Is that an okay thing? Yes, it's fine. Whoop. I was complaining about something else. Oh right, none of that stuff is in scope. And I think something in the formatting messed it up. Maybe 23. Line 8, column 51. 32. I don't know. Alright. It's late. I was just thinking about taking a break, but I think I'll actually just call it here. But I'm going to pick this back up next time I stream. Thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks Joe, thanks Alexi. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to end up just templating the RSS manually. I should actually do a proper topic branch here. RSS feed, there we go. Now I can make a mess and not feel as bad. Scaffolding, RSS templating, get push you, origin, Callan, adding, and there we go. Alright. Yep, thank you everyone, and here, let me show you a dog. Hey Jack. Papu. Come here. Hey. Hey, buddy. Oh, don't act so sleepy. Good boy. Alright. I'll catch you all next time.